One of the most controversial championship decisions in Formula One history has taken place before our eyes. It's the Grand Prix review for the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. Hello everybody, welcome out then to the commentary box. We've got the seats in position. Look, Ian Birch and Megan Birch going to join us shortly as well to wrap up this 2021 season. Josh Plays, though, has not stopped his work at race control. If anything, he's carried on, my old mucker. As he has said as well, Karun and Martin spoke to Michael Masi before the race and asked him, will you throw a red flag if someone crashes at turn 14 like Raikkonen in FP2? He replied with no, and that's why there wasn't a red flag. So that does explain it. I think I heard it in my ears as well as to why there wasn't a red flag either. There's your results, and in total, we'll get through that in a second. But first of all, I've got to take a little seat at the side here of the box because it has been another absolutely dramatic race indeed. Let's start off with the top three. Many people will say that wasn't the right fair decision. I don't think many people will care. It delivered us with a fantastic end to a great world championship, and that is that Max Verstappen, in a winner-takes-all situation, after that safety car, got ahead and has taken the world title with a victory here. Lewis Hamilton finishing second, and Carlos Sainz, the surprise of everybody, starting third as well. Finishing third as well after starting the race further back on the grid. Okay, let's go through then, as ever, the results of the race as we saw it. 11 cars finished in the end on the lead lap, but let's go through it as lap by lap. Let's start off at the start. Verstappen got a bad start. Hamilton got a great getaway. He took the lead in towards turn 1. Verstappen tried to fight back into the turn 5 here, but it didn't work. Verstappen ducked back in behind Hamilton, got the toe down towards turn 6 and 7. Verstappen lunged up the inside, didn't turn into the corner, forced Hamilton off the track. Hamilton had to cut across as well, and then Red Bull were on like saying, well, why isn't Hamilton given the position back? The stewards deemed it that Verstappen had forced Hamilton into that position and forced him off the track. That is why he didn't get a penalty for that. Then the race pretty much quieted down. Hamilton got on with it, got the gap coming down as well. It rose as high as 4 seconds. Then Verstappen came to the pit lane early as well, put on a set of hard tyres. Then so did Sergio Perez. Hamilton finally pit later. He went 45 laps on those hard tyres in the end. They put on a used set as well. They'd already done a lap. So Hamilton went up there as well. Are you both here? Yeah, you are. Okay, both coming in now, look, as I'm talking through the review part of the show, look. You're here. You can take your seat as well. Dad, there's your microphone. Megan's there too. You're on the same... No, microphone down there, Megs. Microphone down there. As you come through.
We've been discussing.
Sorry, go on.
We've been discussing things.
What have you been discussing then?
Well, something that everybody has forgotten apart from me.
Oh, what's that?
And apparently Toto hasn't.
He isn't talking to
Christine
anyone.
has just been up to try and commiserate with Toto, to find that Toto and the rest of the management team are up in the office looking at the rules.
Oh.
Because as Sky are pointing out at this moment, there is an oversight.
Oh, is there really?
Yeah, well, the lapped cars were allowed to overtake.
Bar
the
three.
ones that are behind.
I think...
Which is against the regulations that
There's
every
3
single
cars
lapped
behind
car
Max that
must
should have been.
pass.
The regulations state that all the cars should lap
Not just them.
beyond lapped.
I think Josh said that, didn't he?
Yes, I now
remember.
understood after what we've just listened to. I understood what Josh was on about, and he's right.
Because he said there was 3 cars, Ocon, Leclerc and Vettel, who didn't get the lap back.
Yeah, I think Vettel did, didn't he?
Well,
Vettel did. It was Ricciardo, Stroll and Schumacher.
Yeah.
Right, so they were the 3 that lapped down. Okay.
So that's why that's why they're so aggrieved.
What's happening with...
Information
hang on.
as yet. Expect that to come very
Crofty.
shortly. But my understanding is that Mercedes have lodged 2 protests as to the results, the provisional classification of the race. You just heard Ted explaining the sporting regulations and the articles that cover safety car restarts and the unlapping of cars. But my understanding, no official confirmation as yet, but I'm expecting it to come very shortly, is that 2 protests have been lodged by Mercedes. As Martin Brundle said, this might not be the end of the matter, and I don't think it is.
Okay, so that's Crofty, who's just said on Sky that they have lodged a protest. So this championship might not be over. Opinions, please? Do you think it'll be thrown out, or do you think they'll
I think there'll definitely be a big fight.
What about Michael Masi in terms of his job role for next year? especially after the last two races.
I think it's in doubt at the moment. It's not sour grapes. I'll give you an analogy I gave to Megan. The reason I feel aggrieved about it is not just because I'm a Lewis fan. Lewis has won 7 world championships, and he's gone to the wire with this one, right? But Lewis had a 10-second gap before Latifi crashed.
Yeah.
Right, and you know they pitted. Lewis didn't. Yeah, we understand that's on them, but everybody was told that the lap cars would not
overtake. Yeah,
overtake.
That was the message.
And then Jonathan Wheatley had a go at Michael Massey, and then Christian came on and had a go at Michael Massey over it, and he backed down. But he didn't back down for all the cars. And as Megan has looked it up...
Bless, you could have just moved your mic. You didn't need to mute it that time.
Megan has looked it up, and I think Karuna has looked it up as well, that it does state that all cars that can unlap themselves that have been
No
lapped,
matter what.
So do you reckon this title could go Lewis's way then? Would they take it away from Max, or would they just...
I'm not sure they would take it away from him, though they'll put serious doubt into Michael Massey's job.
What do they do here? Because Max has done nothing wrong.
What they could do, I mean, it's very rough on Max if they take it away from him, but
it's been made
they
official.
Could go back a lap.
Yeah, they've lodged a protest, so it is official.
Yeah, I knew they would.
But if they go back a lap, that gives Lewis the title because Lewis was leading with Max second. In that situation, it's whoever was on top. Winner takes it all.
Yeah, but this doesn't seem fair. This makes a mockery of the best season ever in Formula One.
But they've left it now 38 minutes.
They've created this as a situation. You know, the FIA. How many times this season have Jonathan come on the... Jonathan is the spokesman, and that's his job. But how many times has Jonathan come on and given that the rule book should be... I mean, before this race, it was said by Christian that they're aggrieved at the fact that there's no consistency in the rules as they're written.
Let's go to the chat.
And then they benefit from it.
Let's go to the chat. Josh says as well, Crofty understands that Mercedes have launched 2 protests. He says, I'd like to see Mazzy out. Tons of hate on Mazzy if they take it away from Max. Yeah.
It's a very hard job. I have a nephew that's a referee, and I wouldn't like to be... He's a Scottish football referee, and I wouldn't like to be him in this sort of situation because you always going to not make everybody happy by your decisions.
Max Verstappen, Max
Verstappen. You don't change your decision that with such enormous consequences.
They have protested under Article 48.8 of the Sporting Code that they've breached it. Let's just take a look. We've got this come through just now with the teams. Number and driver 33, protest by Mercedes-AMG against the classification established at the end of the competition, alleged breach of Article 48.12 of the international sport of the Formula One sporting regulations, and that's about the safety car restart. So Mercedes are protesting it, and we'll bring you that news as soon as we have it. It's going to go long into the evening, that one, so we expect a show tomorrow on this championship.
Let's be clear here. Max hasn't done anything wrong in
he hasn't.
That
Wait,
race.
is Danny still there?
Danny Ricciardo's at the back there. Yeah.
He needs to leave now. He's meant to be leaving.
Oh yeah, Dan's
got to get a flight.
Yeah, it's not live.
Yeah,
Good. Still, he needs to get a flight.
Let's explain that. Danny's going back to Australia, and they have quarantine rules, and that means he'll be in quarantine for Christmas Day. But his parents and his family are going in quarantine with him, so that they can share Christmas Day, and they won't come out actually till Boxing Day. And that's as if as long as the rules don't change, and that they can do that. Australia has different rules, like we have different rules. But that's how Danny puts it, isn't it? At the moment.
At the moment, that's how he put it. Indeed, yeah. So let me just quickly finish going through the race because you came in a bit early. Sainz the surprise third. Sonoda finishing in 4th place as well. His best ever finish in Formula One, beating a 6th place as well. As Megan said, he was just half a tenth away from Sainz at the end of the race from being his first podium. Gasly finished 5th, so AlphaTauri get ahead ever so slightly in the constructors. Then we get Bottas Bottas in 6th where he started. Bad day for him. Norris 7th with a gearbox issue. Missed out on a podium. Alonso 8th. Ocon 9th. More points for Alpine. And Leclerc rounding out top 10. Vettel in 11th. Ricciardo, Stroll, Schumacher the last on the lap. Perez retired, the same as Latifi, Giovinazzi, Russell, Raikkonen, and of course Mazepin never took part in this Grand Prix either.
Looking at the pictures, we've just seen the smallest person in Formula One. Now, everybody think, that's Tsunoda. He's the smallest driver. The smallest person in Formula One is Giovinazzi's girl Friday.
What is Valtteri?
She's actually smaller than Tsunoda. It's amazing.
Valtteri Bottas
Valtteri has just jumped in. Well, this is nothing for Valtteri because that water would be warm.
Yeah.
When he goes on his
his
cross-country hikes and runs, it usually ends up with him in the snow in a snow bath.
Yeah, Valtteri Bottas just run off the end of the marina in his fire suit. That was special this weekend because it was the blue for the Finnish flag, blue and white stripes. And he's just run into the green with Mercedes team cheering him on as Valtteri goes off to Alfa Romeo next year.
He's swimming there.
Both Max and Lewis, I've got to say a thank you to their backup drivers.
Yeah.
Because both of them did excellent jobs today. And for the last few races, actually, they've all done their number 2 driver jobs to excess.
Just a second then on Kimi Raikkonen, retired, the first retiree, 33 laps after the race was in. That was horrible for him to finish his Formula 1 career like that. Do you think he minded, or do you think it was like, I wanted to at least finish the race?
I don't think he minded. I think he was just like, I want to go out in a blaze of glory and have something happen.
He's driver of the day, though. He did win it.
Ted's going to say something.
Let's listen to Ted then.
Regulations 48.8. 48.8 is effectively, sorry, I can take this off now, can't I? Effectively the catch-all phrase that governs when cars are allowed to overtake the safety car or not. And there is a clause in there that would look to be certainly towards Mercedes' advantage. So not only have they got 39.12, which is the one we talked about, that only when all of the lap cars have unlapped themselves may the race go on. There's 48.8 is just about when people may overtake after safety cars. So that's further down in the sporting regulations. Now, the big question is whether they do have a case, is anything going to happen? And experience would tell us all, would it not, world champions, that the FIA tends not to find against itself or its officials in these kind of investigations.
It would cost a lot to have...
I think we're hearing from Simon and Ted that the FIA really putting themselves against each other. Do you really think they'll give themselves a penalty and award it to Hamilton? It's a bit on the nose if they do.
I don't think they'd award it to Hamilton.
No, I don't think they will. What do you think, Dad?
What can they do? Other than admit that they've made a really massive mistake.
I'm sorry, by the way. I forgot you didn't have ears on.
There have been situations. You can turn Dill down again.
All right. Sorry, I forgot you didn't have ears on and you needed the speakers in the box. I could hear, but they weren't.
There have been situations in football where things have been reversed after they've initial decisions and things like that. And that just leads to more
upset, yeah. Because
from the opposite side.
Because if they do rule in favour of Hamilton, then Red Bull will just protest and back and forth. So what's the final article on it? I would just leave it as it is. It was unfair, but it's happened.
I loved Kelly's dress today, and I loved Lewis's T-shirt as they were walking in.
There's been a protest against Verstappen's car.
Uh-huh.
Verstappen's car itself has been protested by Mercedes.
Why?
So this is the second protest. So it's Verstappen's car now has been protested by Mercedes.
Mercedes and Red Bull should really stop protesting each other's cars.
Well,
it never ends well.
It's such a big prize, isn't it? It's the World Championship.
Yeah. Sorry. All right. Let's move on then quickly as well. We've got a bit more time, but we haven't got that much time left. Final word then on this, and if there is any breaking news, we'll do a show on it and get it out to you as soon as possible.
He will.
Final word on... Well, Megan probably join us and others. You can join us on the Grid Network as well in about an hour's time. That'll have some more breaking news. So the link is in the link tree to the Grid Network. Get on that for the show later.
I can't believe that me and Megan have just eaten 3 Magnums each.
We haven't had the Magnums yet. That's straight after we've finished here.
Yeah,
so that's
but
why I want to hurry.
I've had 3. I had 2 whites and a dark, and she had the opposite. You know.
Well,
And
I'm
so-
waiting.
Oh, hang on. There's only 6.
Yeah, that's all right. The
So
victory magnums.
Have you got any? Oh
No,
no.
but
Never mind. Steward's inquiry to this.
yeah, black flag.
The
Okay.
regulations state that magnums
I've
should
only
be
eaten
given.
a penguin since then. So.
Beth has joined us. Beth's here saying the magical, magical Mazzy tour, Mastery tour.
Yeah, Beth is not, although she's a fellow countryman of Michael Masi, she's not a Michael Masi fan.
No, definitely not.
In fact, she did, during a race recently, start a petition against him and got 2 signatures, hers and the guy
Mine.
in the blue suit.
Mine as well.
Oh, yours as well.
Yeah.
3 signatures.
I'm not sure whether mine went through.
M says as well, Verstappen was called to a steward's room. Am I right? Yeah, Verstappen has been called to the steward's room, and the Mercedes have protested the end
Josh
of that race.
has done great at what he does. Synth has done great when he's helped out and things like that. And honestly, it's been one of those seasons. But Beth has kept us all happy with her songs, different dialects of not dialects, different words to each song and things like
jokes.
that.
The
And her
quizzes.
jokes and the fact that she's gone from Beth Verstappen to Beth Aberston.
Oh, there's tons of them as well.
I don't know what she's getting for Christmas, but it might be the new Abbott CD.
You know, I have loads of photos on my phone from just best jokes.
I do. Adam says, I miss Charlie Whiting. I think we all agree there. Charlie would never have done that.
Ted even nearly said the race director chat, and then he had to stop himself from saying Charlie Whiting.
I have stuck up for Michael all season because it's a hard job. It really is a hard job, and he's got to learn.
Yeah.
But this is the sort of mistake that you get fired for. You know,
If he's the race
because-
director next year, I'll be
because
surprised.
if the rules state that all the cars should be unlapped, then that means the ones behind Max as well. But the reason he didn't do that was the fact that if he had, there wouldn't have been a last lap.
Yeah, there would be no lap 58.
He couldn't get the 3 behind past
He got the
in
3
time before the last lap had been on.
Should've
So he
tried.
would have had to keep the safety car out, and Lewis would have won there. And so, you know, this isn't a small mistake. This is a multi-million-pound business that has, with a lot of fans on both sides, that are now aggrieved.
I've been told that the protest on Verstappen is because Max overtook him before the safety car line. We were glitching at the time as well.
I did actually see
I saw
that.
that. He pulled alongside
Yeah,
him and
at the hotel.
Yeah, Max
He was
pulled
getting a bit
alongside him,
too
looked
aggressive
and then
Yeah.
started to brake, but Lewis braked as well. And
So yeah, that's why there's an investigation going on now.
yeah,
Is because
he was
yeah.
actually ahead of him for only a matter of
A second,
tenth of
yeah.
a second or half
But
a second.
Verstappen did pass Hamilton under the safety car, which is against the rules. So we'll hear what that has to say. We'll be on the Grid Network, of course,
Don't you
later on
think
as
all
well.
This has spoiled what had been a great season. You know, I mean, when it's over, it's over. But I just don't think this is over.
Spin Master says, "Great, you're still streaming. This has been a great race. Gutted for Kimi. Yeah, we're on for the Grand Prix review now. This is our separate show.
We were all gutted for Kimi because
Oh yeah, definitely.
the same thing happened to DC. DC had a new livery to
Everyone, yeah.
you know, he had a new livery to celebrate his time in Formula One, and I think he went off in lap
Lap one. Rosberg hit him.
3.
Yeah, Rosberg hit him. Yeah.
Yeah.
Beth says as well, they're crossing to Sam outside of a hotel of F1 post coverage, a hotel. Yeah, that'll be on the F1.com, isn't it? So they're outside a hotel. That's ever so nice. Hotel must be serious. Oh dear, if it is. Yeah, so there's something going on there. We'll bring you all the news as soon as we know it. If we know any penalties, we'll have a special show and we'll
Have
tweet
a great
it as
holidays,
well.
everyone.
Yeah, have a great holiday. But we're not done just yet.
Because we know that we have viewers and listeners from all countries and all religions and all ethnic things, and that's what it should be. It should be for everybody. I hope we make everybody happy. We're a bit light-hearted sometimes, but you know.
It's been a great year.
It's enjoyable when we're light-hearted.
All right, then. Mercedes have protested against the classification established at the end of the competition. So we'll wait to see what that is going to bring. We'll have all the news on this channel as soon as we find out. We'll do a special show.
I think things were that busy that Massey and none of the others realised
It was last lap.
that they I don't think they did it on purpose, but I think they've dropped one here because of the fact that, Megan was the first to point it out and inside in the house, but that made us realise what Josh had said, and Josh got it right.
Bang on,
away,
first time, yeah.
That there were 3 cars behind Verstappen that should have unlapped themselves. And when you start thinking about it, all of them behind Verstappen should have unlapped themselves. That happened in IndyCar.
Yeah. Don't know why it wasn't. Beth saying as well, other religious holidays may also be available. Just keeping us covered. All right, let's wrap up the year then. As
what we get in this country is a lot of people of different religions still celebrate it as a holiday, and that's how it should be.
I've got network soon, so we've got to wrap up.
Yeah.
Join us on the Grid Network though. Just me, Ben, and Adam, and Kobe as well. Get them all on there. I think Joe's going to be there too if he's got his power back. So join us there as well for the show.
To lock the door so that Josh can't find out that we've eaten his Magnums.
All right, let's wrap up the year then with our usual conversation. Both of you, I want your driver of the year, please. Let's start with Megan. I think I already know it. I think I know what race it was going to be as well. Go on.
If I choose Fernando, though, then it would just seem favouritism. No, I'm going to choose Fernando because he has had a great year. I mean, he finished, wasn't it third?
Third in Qatar.
Third.
Yeah. Dad?
Mine, I obviously support Lewis, but Lewis isn't my driver of the year because I think anybody who can get an Alpine to top spot, Ocon.
Yeah, I think I'd go there.
Ocon has consistently got that Alpine
Team of the year, Alpine.
up
My
where it shouldn't
driver
be.
of the
And so is
year.
Alonso, really.
I put Russell as my driver of the year.
Yeah.
That second place in Belgium with the qualifying in ferocious conditions and getting it through to qualifying so many times.
Driver of the
fantastic.
century and the last century as well.
Oh, just
Not
quickly,
Lewis Hamilton.
let's run through the driver standings as well. Max Verstappen, the champion, 395.5 points. Lewis Hamilton, 387.5.
Provisional.
Bottas on 226 as well. He gets the third place in the Constructors' Championship as well. And Nikita Mazepin now moves into 21st position in a driver of 20, as Robbie Kubica got more positions ahead of him. Mercedes, definitely, they're 8-time Constructors' Champions, 613 points to Red Bull. Ferrari, third in the Constructors. McLaren, fourth. Alpine, fifth. AlphaTauri, Aston Martin, Williams, Alfa Romeo, and Haas for the first time ended with no points on the board.
Yeah, but they have got their own show on Netflix.
Yes, and there is Mercedes with Andrew Shovlin and Ron Meadows heading up there to the stewards as well. We'll have all the updates in a special programme as soon as we know what the ruling is going to be. It's unlikely going to be anything. That's why we're not going to stay on air for that much longer, but join us on the Grid Network for more coverage.
It doesn't matter because they'll take it to the Court of Arbitration.
Yeah, it won't matter. This will get thrown out quite quickly. Rest in peace, my messages don't get through, some spam there as well. Okay, so we've got our driver of the year. Let's go team of the year, please. Who's your team of the year?
Mine's either one of two.
Oh, go on.
Alpine or AlphaTauri.
My team of the year is shared between Red Bull and Mercedes for giving us one of, if not the most exciting championship we've ever had, the most controversial.
Definitely. Mine goes to McLaren for that win in Monza. Constant being on the podium or constantly battling with Ferrari through the midfield as well. So McLaren goes there.
McLaren's the one after
Yeah.
my two ones.
Okay.
They've shot themselves in the foot because now you have to take a world championship away from a lad that's not got one.
Yeah.
Right. Because of their mistake. Could it end up that they share the championship this year?
And I'm not sure. Moving further on then.
It's
Favourite race of the year?
Ooh, that's a mix actually.
It's a doozy, isn't it? Because there's been so many great ones. So what's your favourite race of the year? Do you want me to go first?
Now, mine is either Qatar
Obviously.
or, you're going to be surprised by this,
Go on.
Azerbaijan.
Yeah, that was a good one in Baku, wasn't it? Dad, what's your race of the year?
Magello.
That's not been this year.
I know, but it was in MotoGP.
Oh, right. Oh, that was a great one. Now, what was
Oh, you mean in Formula 1?
in Formula One? Wait, what's the race of the year this year?
In a racing year at Silverstone,
Because
it's our race.
I'm surprised nobody's going for one. I'm going to go.
Actually,
I know,
Silverstone was really good because, I mean, it was controversial at the start and in the middle and at the finish.
Brazil.
Brazil, yeah.
That was my race of the year. That was dramatic
Yeah, but
battling.
they've all been quite good.
They've all been good.
We usually have a couple of boring races. I
Yeah.
mean, even the French Grand Prix was good this year, which
was surprising.
All bar Monaco, and of course the Belgian race that never happened, which leads on nicely to the next question.
This was exciting.
Your least favourite year of the race of the year, please, in Formula One. What race was just
Formula
like?
One.
That's it. What race was that? That's it.
My least favourite Formula One races of the year is the Commentators Challenge because it just brings out the side of my children that I don't like.
Megan, what's your least favourite race of the year?
Surprisingly, it's not Belgium.
No, I quite enjoyed Belgium, to be fair.
What was
I
the one you
enjoyed
mentioned
Holland.
before?
Monaco.
Monaco.
Nothing happened with the clearing the wall in qualifying.
It was boring.
Yeah, that was the wrong one dud of the year, wasn't it?
It was a wonder of a year that's meant to be the most one of the most exciting of the year. It was just boring.
I mean, I don't think the Italian Grand Prix was very good.
Well, unexciting.
Hamilton and Verstappen hit each other, and Ricciardo won the race. It was a battle all throughout. That was a great
very
race.
exciting.
My least favourite race of the year, Belgium was actually quite enjoyable,
Just trying
but
to think through them all.
Yeah.
Aston has
been any
disasters.
real bad ones, have there?
I enjoyed America. America was a great race, but thinking about the worst,
MotoGP race in America was
that was classic.
brilliant.
Yeah,
Classic,
I
that
think Austria 2. Nothing happened.
We'd already been there once.
Yeah, Austria 2 was a very boring race. Nothing
I was
happened.
quite interested.
I'm getting
in the
sick
fact
of Austria
that when we've got
circuits.
two races at the same circuit, that the second race is almost completely
Yeah.
different to the first race.
But in this case, Verstappen won them both, but by the
Yeah,
Austrian.
but the race
yeah.
itself was totally different.
Yeah,
you know.
yeah. Austria 2 was
It's-
my least favourite one.
You'd think that it'd be just a repeat of the first one, but it's not.
Moment.
That
Yeah, go on.
hasn't happened.
Favourite moment of the year,
Alonso getting the podium.
Dad.
Favorite moment of the year.
I've got it. It's nothing actually we've done.
I don't know. I'd have to think about that.
I'll say mine then.
Formula One.
Yes.
My
My favourite moment of the
I
year.
was going to say my favorite moment of the year would be getting my COVID jabs
All right.
because I don't go out.
My favourite moment of the year doesn't actually come from Formula One, and you're going to shout at me for this, but it was Snetterton.
Oh, because you were there.
Back at Snetterton, back in a paddock for
Really?
the first time. Yeah.
The sunburn doesn't agree.
I was
He had
sunburned.
sunburn on his arms for
Still
weeks.
has it.
I know I was sunburned massively, but I was freezing in the evening. It's the worst night I've ever slept.
What a weird combination of things to
I know.
do.
What's this? What I'm trying to get through is that somebody on the Race Control Messages channel knows. Wow. So some awards I'd like to give. Best FA Radio Messages Response. It's a motor car race. That was Michael Mazzi. Best Destruction on Track, Verstappen and Hamilton's Monza crash as well. Best Destruction off track, Toto destroying his headphones at Saudi
Where is
Arabia.
Josh anyway?
Oh, it can't be on because the systems won't work. Best Commentator Award, Josh and the team, best show as well. Commentator Challenge as well for the best stream. Most Destructive Driver on the Commentator Challenge is Megan. Yeah, I think I'd agree with that, Josh.
Of course.
Yeah, my favourite. All right, favourite moment of the year F1 wise.
I wear that with pride.
My favourite moment of the year F1 wise would be the first race of the year, Hamilton versus Verstappen, because it just sets up the year brilliantly. What was your? Have you got one, Dad? Because you haven't said it yet.
Favorite race of the year.
Favourite moment of the year.
Favorite moment of the year.
Yeah.
I
I love how you've got a mic. I'm just having to put mine in.
On the grid walk, when Martin got turned down again.
Oh yes, by the second Williams.
By
Yeah.
that rapper lady.
Oh, Megan Thee
Megan Thee
Stallion.
Yeah, she was actually willing to talk to him. It was
Yeah.
the
So
it was
Entourage hated it.
The PA, the young PA that was a bit
Malfoy lookalike.
mouthy to her.
Yeah, the
to him.
Malfoy lookalike.
Don't I
Okay.
know who Sir Martin Bundle is? Personal friend of the Queen.
Least favourite moment of the year.
When Lando lost his win.
That's a good one. Dad, your least favourite moment of the year?
Henry and Meghan's TV interview with Oprah.
All right. My least favourite moment of the year, I think, would come Saudi Arabia with Hamilton and Verstappen's contact, because that just put the sport into disrepute, and maybe this race as well.
Least favourite bit of the year is what just happened.
The FIA interfering again.
I mean, I'm a great believer that when things are over, they're over. You know, if my football team's lost and I've enjoyed watching them play, then it's over as soon as I leave the stadium. You know, and this has left a sour taste in my mouth, and I know it has Megan's as well.
Okay, final question.
Fine.
You said when I said about it leaving.
I don't know there was sour taste in my mouth. I just don't think they did it right.
Final question then.
What is a sour taste if that's not that?
I don't know. Sour Patch Kids?
Oh, for God's sake. Final question of the year then. Who is going to be the 2022 World Champion? Loads of new regulations, 18-inch wheels, new aero
Suit of the year.
pack.
Hang on, let's do Suit of the Year, Mojo.
Yeah, I'll agree with that. Mojo.
He's on the screen now. If you're still watching Sky coverage anywhere in the world,
Yeah,
Mojo is the gentleman behind Martin in the suit that makes Lewis's look normal.
We've got to wrap up.
He's one of the best fans this sport has ever had.
We're going over our time slot here.
Yeah.
Megan, who's just quickly? Who's going to be world champion next year, Megan?
I'm thinking Lewis. So I really want it to be Norris.
Dad, who's going to be world champion in 2022?
Your mother.
Be serious. We're running out of time here. Literally.
I've just heard her pull
Massively.
up.
Yeah. So who's
Yeah,
going
they're
to
massively running out.
who's going to be world champion next year?
We're under the new regulations. It could be anybody. I've got a feeling that you're going to see some of the McLarens do well,
Also Sainz.
and I think the Ferraris will do well. I think the Red Bulls won't, because I don't think their engines are going to be strong enough.
Yeah.
But I think it will still be Mercedes, and I think it'll be McLaren that are going against the Mercedes.
I'll go with that.
Possibly the Ferraris.
I'll go with that. I think driver champion next year would be Lewis Hamilton. Okay, we're out of
I
time.
hope it is.
Yeah, we're out of time. We will keep up as well what is going on with all of the stewards. It's unlikely anything will happen, but we will do a special show on that later on as well. But this will be our last live show of the year. My thanks to all of you for watching. We can't do what we do here without your support and your viewership as well. It really does mean a lot.
Otherwise, we're talking to ourselves.
Absolutely, and that's boring. But honestly, it has been absolutely fantastic. We've covered MotoGP, Formula 1, Formula E, the British touring cars, and Indy 500 and IndyCar as well. The World Endurance Championship. We've loved every single moment. It's been very, very long season. The longest and most difficult season we've all done, I think, I can safely say. But you make it worthwhile. We'll see you in 2022 with a whole new set of regulation changes in Formula 1 set to throw the championship up once again. But the one thing we can be sure of, the 2021 season will never be forgotten. And certainly, it's been the greatest challenge we've ever had. The legend, the greatest of all time, Lewis Hamilton, versus the new legend of Max Verstappen. Thanks for your company. We'll see you in 2022. Goodbye. And De Vries has got to get through again here as well. It's all still to play for. Blomqvist goes up into 10th place, and Bird's going to try and spoil it. But it is going to be the championship run. Out of the last corner, Norman Nato wins for the first ever time in Formula E. But across the line, Roland second, Van Dorn third. But the Season 7 ABB FIA Formula E World Champion, Nick De Vries, is the World Champion for 2021. And a driver who chose Formula E over Formula 1 is now champion of the world. We're into the last sector now. It's all 6/10 between them. It doesn't look like it's going to be changing as well. Into the last corner, the checkered flags await. Colton Herta is the winner of Long Beach, but the 2021 NTT Data IndyCar champion is Spain's Alexander Palou, who finishes 4th and is champion.
Thank you. You're an amazing team. Thank you so much.
And Jamie Chadwick has now won
£500,000.
yeah, 500,000 times. So Jamie Chadwick crosses the line to take her second championship, and there's also a yellow in Sector 1. Don't know why that's there. It seems to be a habit recently.
The field just circulating now out of the last couple of corners. We'll go back to Josh in a second as well as we go full screen picture. Josh Cook wins round 29, but the 2021 QuickFit British Touring Car Champion for a third time is Ashley Sutton. He is the QuickFit British Touring Car Champion, and you have never seen a more composed season drive ever. Ash Sutton is the QuickFit British Touring Car Champion. Josh, your trackside right there. The garages are going mad. Ash has got his hand out of the car. We have a total of 5 laps to go here for the Emilia Romagna Grand Prix. And the battle is on between Francesco Bagnaia and Marc Marquez. Of course, all eyes now also, Megan, remember, the end of the Touring Car Championship with the champion going to be crowned in the next... Oh, it's done! It's done! It's done! He has done it! I do not believe it! I do not believe it! Francesco Bagnaia has crashed out of the Emilia Romagna Grand Prix! Fabio Quartararo is the 2021 MotoGP World Champion! It's happened! I do not believe it! The commentators cursed, you may say, but we talked about he might do it at exactly the same corner as Jack Miller, with Quartararo going onto the podium. The gap becomes 60 with only 50.
Oliveira's crashed out as well.
I think there's oil down. Oliveira's crashed at the same point. I think there's oil down. They might stop it. It doesn't matter. It's a Repsol Honda 1-2. But you are looking at the new world champion. Fabio Quartararo is the 2021 MotoGP champion with 4 laps to go. Talk us through it. The green flag is out. The race is back on for one more lap. This incredible season goes down to the last lap. Go, go, go. The last lap, Hamilton gets a good run. Verstappen's going to go with him. Which way are they going to go? Down now in the last couple of corners. Hamilton is defending. There is no DRS. Verstappen's going to have to do this by all his might. Down to the hip, here we go. Is he going to make a move? Hamilton turns in. He forces it wide. Verstappen takes the lead on the last lap. Hamilton can't do anything, surely. He's 4 tenths behind, but he's in the toe. Verstappen moving left and right. Hamilton's in the toe. Down towards turn 8 and 9. Where's it going to go? Hamilton goes to the outside. He's trying to find a way through. It hasn't worked. The safety car played a blinder, but here comes Lewis Hamilton. Here comes Hamilton, down towards turn 9. Is he going to get ahead? He pulls to the outside line. They nearly touch at over 200 miles an hour. Hamilton's giving it his all. Verstappen goes wide, but Verstappen leads in Azerbaijan in Baku. Hamilton is down to second. The title goes the way of Verstappen in what a very controversial way. My goodness me. The stewards will be giving this one hell. Hamilton cheated out of a world championship. Max Verstappen, in the most crazy season of all, exits the last corner and is the 2021 world champion. Lewis Hamilton denied to be the king of the 8. Red Bull get their first Drivers' Championship since 2013, and Max Verstappen is the 2021 World Champion in the most dramatic and controversial showdown I have ever seen in my life.
Thank you.